Hey gang, it's Tuesday morning transformation. I have a big transformational concept for you. It's a bit of a mind bender. So hang on, pay attention, go all the way through this because this will part the veil and awaken you to a far more loving life. So I have a question for you. Are the 5 love languages real? Are the 5 love languages even real? So I got a quote from you, and this is what spawned this whole topic here. And here's the quote: don't make your ability to love yourself conditional on someone else's ability to love you. So don't make your ability to love yourself conditional on someone else's ability to love you. That's from Paul Ferrini, Reflections of a Christ Mind. So that's Christ consciousness. Now, when we're young, what's this mean? Because when we're young, we look for everything outside ourselves, right? We're totally dependent on our parents to take care of us. You know, that's our survival. But we also look outside of us and we develop patterns and belief systems on how we feel about ourselves and how we give and receive love based on how our parents give and receive love. Now, this could be kind of messed up because maybe our parents didn't even really know how to love themselves completely and unconditionally. Hey, Ty, how you doing? Thanks for being here. So now we learn this behavior and we want acknowledgement from parents, teachers, coaches, all that stuff. And then we develop an identity in how we feel about ourselves and how we give and exchange love through ourself. And now the relationship with ourself and our identity now affects every relationship in our life, not only our perspective on our self-worth, but how we conduct and act in relationships. So now comes the 5 love languages. Now, if you haven't read the book, it's all good. I mean, I haven't personally read the book. It was written by a pastor, Gary Chapman, and he was also a marriage counselor. So we started noticing patterns in human behavior. Hey, humans tend to act and react in certain ways. So he came up with the 5 love languages. What's number 1? Hey, Michael. Words of affirmation, right? Telling people you love them, stuff like that. Acts of service, what you do for people. Quality time, giving gifts, and then physical touch. So here's the love language, and people always say, what's your love language? You know, you have to know your love language because then, hey, Anthony, how you doing? Because then I can know my partner's love language. And when we know our love language, then we can give and exchange love. And what happens is, then love becomes conditional. Because it's like, well, I'm gifts. So if you don't buy me gifts, then you don't love me. Or I'm acts of service. And if you don't take the trash out on time, then you don't love me. Or I'm words of affirmation. So if you don't tell me you love me, this many times a day, then you really don't love me. And then you begin to see that's based on conditions. Then love has demands on it. Now you have conditional love that's controlling and it's demanding. That doesn't sound like very much fun, right? Especially if you're telling your partner, you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do this. And this defines who you are because this is what I need. But what they're not saying is because this is the way my parents love me and this is the way the world is, right? That's not very much fun. When in reality, we're spirits having a human experience. So we're divinity. We're created from love. We're a child of God. We're a child of the universe. We are love from the inside out. Love is a feeling and a beingness. It's not based on what we do, right? It's not based on what we do. 5 love languages are actually vehicles of love. That's how we exercise love. Hey, Jackie, good to see you. It's a vehicle. That's how we express it. It's not who we are. So this is a huge, crucial, important, see, this is Italian, important difference. So after, basically studying human behavior for 21 years, taking people through breakthroughs, developing a spiritually based coaching system, I had to learn this myself. Hi, Katie. So now here's the thing. Now let's go through some examples, okay? I was raised in a very immigrant Italian culture, right? So what do? I love you, kiss, hug, I still kiss my dad and men kiss men and they tell you to shut up and then they tell you they love you and then they're yelling at you and then they give you a hug, right? So there's all this physical verbal exchange. So, hey, I like words of affirmation. I like touch. And then there's gifts. So you tend to see patterns when I tend to see these patterns, one pattern is like a father that travels for business, and every time he comes home, then he brings his daughter a gift. Why? Because he feels guilty that he's gone. Or, people are athletes, and, when you get good grades and then you get gifts. So it becomes based on something that you do, and then you get a gift. And you associate love and affection and acknowledgement with gifts. Now, if you don't get those gifts, then you don't love. Now, I live in Newport Beach, which is the Mecca for people with a boatload of money. And there's a label down here, called the trophy wife. And I'm not judging it, but what I do know is there's, the men are out there, they're very successful, they're making money, and there's lots of women that make money too. So all the power to everybody when you have a purpose. But I notice when people don't have a purpose, you can have the credit card, you can buy anything you want, whenever you want, but you don't have purpose, and then you're miserable. If your purpose is to go to the gym and look good and do all that, and I'm not judging, all I'm saying is people that don't have a purpose, they can buy anything they want, they don't feel fulfilled. Hey, Elizabeth, great to see you. So here's the Mecca of these people that can have anything they want and they're not happy because there's something bigger. It's not about what you do or what you receive. It's more about who you are. So then there's acts of service. Well, my second wife was all about acts of service. So I'd be coaching at home, and then I'd hear her yelling upstairs, "Hey, honey, can you come upstairs to the bedroom and iron my shirt?" Right? So it's like, take out the trash, iron the shirt. Like every day was about this task list of little things that if I didn't do them, then there wasn't love. And I had to tell her, this doesn't define how much I love you, okay? That's not it. So, and then quality time. Again, just personal experience. I was in another relationship where a person would say, "Hey, can you not go to the gym this morning? Let's spend this time together." Hey, I get it, but I got to go to the gym. That's who I am. But hey, did I still spend quality time? Yeah, but maybe not at 5 a.m, okay? And so this is my experience, but these are based on things that are learned. And so the problem is when that becomes your identity and that becomes conditional, and now it's everything outside you, right? So then love becomes what you need to do instead of who you are. And again, this is totally against the beingness of love because it puts demands on it, right? So the reality is, how do you need to express love? So we look at You're More Powerful Than You Think. The second chapter is all about, in H.E.A.L.E.D, exercise loving yourself and others, because love is a feeling and it's a beingness, but we need to make it matter in our life. We need to give it. So which one of the 5 love languages do we need to do? Well, guess what? We need to do all of them. We need to tell our partner that we love them. We need touch is important. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up. If it's important to your spouse, you might want to buy him a gift. You might want to take him out to dinner. You might want to bring home flowers. And don't wait till Valentine's Day, right? Bring a little surprise. Hey, if you're a dude, it might be good to come home and say, "Sweetheart, I know you love vanilla candles. Hey, I bought one tonight. Let's put the kids to bed. Let's light a candle and let's talk." Yeah, you have to talk, right? So when you're willing to have intimate talk, guess what follows? Intimacy. You want to have sex tonight? Talk to your wife. Listen, okay? So we need to have quality time. We should have words of affirmation. We need to have touch, Yeah, you need to go out and buy flowers or, even something small like a little surprise. The reality is those are all vehicles. We need to do all of them, but that's not who we are. That's how we exercise love. It doesn't define love. It's just a bunch of different ways that we can exercise and not show people that we love them. We just need to show that we care enough that we're thinking about them. We care enough to actually not keep it in our head, but to communicate and to do things and to act in ways that create intimacy in our relationship. Now, it's not just our personal relationship, but it's everywhere. Now, You're More Powerful Than You Think. We have ways like just acknowledging people, the 3 A's, attention, give them great eye contact, acknowledge, compliment, appreciate. And one of the most powerful, I just was on a coaching call yesterday, And a very powerful vehicle that I did this myself, completely opened my mind up to how much love we have in our life, was actually keeping a love journal. And so at the end of the day, I wrote down, man, how many loving things happened to me today? Or how many times did I experience love? And it seems kind of dumb, but when you write it down and you become conscious of it, you're like, man, I had a stressful day or I had all these things, but amongst it all, I was immersed in love the whole time. I didn't even realize it, because sometimes we're so focused on what we need to do on our task list, we're not even aware or conscious that we're immersed and surrounded by love all the time. We're giving and receiving love continually all day long. And this guy was on a coaching call. He read that in You're More Powerful. And it was like, man, it changed my life. I gave it to my wife. We do this together, and it totally enhanced our relationship. So I thought that was fascinating. So something so small can make such a big impact. Hey, Mike, hi, Donna. That when we become conscious of it, then we realize this is who we are. It's not what we do. So let's connect with who we are. We're unconditionally loving beings. And then when we make love matter, come into physical existence, we find loving ways to exercise love and express it and share it with other people. The 5 love languages are vehicles. It's not identity. So let's take that. Hey, if you want more ways that you can have more love in your life, go to You're More Powerful Than You Think. Go to YourMorePowerful.com. And hey, let's understand who we are, live it from the inside out, and let's exercise it. And we can raise the consciousness of humanity, bring more love into the world. All right, you guys. Hey, love you guys. All right, take care. See you next week.